everybody, and back to back. We're here in Bolivia.
Hi.
And
Yes.
here's our present, Rosemary.
Hi, guys. How are you? Good afternoon.
Yeah, make sure that you lower the volume in the WizIQ. Just test the volume in the WizIQ settings, and I'll go through a little bit of an introduction here for Rosemary. I met Rosemary, I think recently, actually. I have learned so much. She is an I'm going to let you get started.
Sure.
And remove myself. So thank you. If anybody finds that the
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, people will be coming
I hope
in
you
as
can.
we go. We just finished
Hello, Barcelona.
in
Hello,
Guatemala.
everyone. Yes. I need to go. Yeah, blended learning right there. Good. I guess we're good to go. I have a message that says slow internet connection is not supporting video. Should I shut down my video? Can you hear me now? Great. Okay, so let's do that. Hello, Switzerland. All right, so I'm going to just stop sending video since I think that it's slowing down the connection. Bye-bye now. Okay, guys. Good afternoon from Bolivia. Good evening if you're somewhere else. Maybe it's good morning for some of my fellow teachers. And welcome one more time to this MMVC14 conference. Thank you for attending this webinar. I'm Rosemary Rivera, and I have been an English teacher for about 5 years at the Centro Boliviano Americano here in Santa Cruz, Bolivia. I would like to thank Dr. Nelly. I don't dare to say your last name, Dutch, I don't know. Okay, for making it possible for us to spread all of our good practices here. This presentation is the result of a combination of the debates that I had been doing in my classroom and the technological input of online learning sites. Therefore, the debate went from being just a classroom practice to being blended. I designed this thanks to my studies at the University of Oregon online. I got a scholarship. I was lucky enough. And this was my final action plan, which is nothing else than a final paper. Okay. Since the name of this webinar is Blended Learning Debate, I figured that I would start by speaking about one of the biggest trends in today's education, which is blended learning. When the concept just appeared before my eyes when I was studying, it caught my attention.
Rosemary,
I just...
Rosemary, can you hear me?
Yes?
Rosemary, are you? Yeah, sorry. Can you go into WizIQ settings and try to lower the volume in the WizIQ setting? There's a bar if you go into advanced settings and then you can move it
Okay.
to the left. So it's not, you have a
I
very
did it.
powerful voice.
I'm sorry.
Thank
Is it
you.
better now? Is it better now? Okay. So as I was telling you, this blended learning caught my eyes, caught my attention, because I just love being online. And I'm really passionate about learning. So what better than reuniting both? And I was fortunate to have been given not only one but two scholarships to attend the University of Oregon online. And I got web skills, and then I got TESOL methods. And when I was asked to write a final paper, I decided to use internet tools to help my students debate. And when I did that, I early realized that the concept of blended learning needed some tweaking, some changing, because it turns out that here, at least in Bolivia, face-to-face learning and the hands-off coaching and the virtual classroom were no problem for my students. Nevertheless, the self-paced element was quite a challenge, because students would not manage their online time efficiently. They would actually procrastinate and go online at the last minute. So what I did I had no choice but to change the self-paced learning to strict timing learning. And I finally got things going. All right, I would like to ask you something right now. I have a poll. Let me see if I can post it. I think my poll is right here. Can you see it? Can you see my poll? I would like you to answer this question. Do your students speak easily? Yes.
Publish it. It
All
says
right, so
publish
just share results.
on the poll.
It was published.
Yes.
Okay, so I
Oh,
just
really? I
end.
can't. Can anybody see it? No, I don't see it.
Well, it's okay if I just get a result. Maybe it's gonna be on one of the last ones, right? Okay. I guess I didn't, huh? Okay. So the question is, do your students speak easily when you are training them, or do you actually? There you go. Thank you for participating. So, I guess your students sometimes speak easily. There you go. Thanks, Nelly. You're awesome. Okay. So, sometimes. And I would like to know, when your students speak easily, is it because they are knowledgeable about the topic or because they had read before? What do you think was the main reason? I will share the results. I'm sharing the results. Okay. I will end poll and share the results. Okay. I did it. There you go. So those were the results. Any English student, Shiva, is like, sometimes they are so confident, and our students sometimes are very shy, or they don't feel secure enough to talk. So thank you very much for your participation, and that was the expected answer, actually, because I was asked to, pick an issue or a challenge to be resolved in my classroom, and that was fluency. Definitely, it was fluency. I picked up fluency since it is a big problem for English learners. According to my experience, this affects not only basic level students, but also advanced level students. In my classes, I noticed that reading improves vocabulary, grammar, writing, and of course, speaking. So in order to make my students debate, I gave them authentic materials and made them write their arguments in a paragraph style format. Then I took home the writings and corrected them in order to give students feedback. It was a quite long process. All right, so it took me so much time. And then I decided to use the internet tools, to help my students debate. And that saved me a lot of time. I felt so frustrated at the beginning because I wanted my students to talk. I mainly have advanced students and very low-level students. And I've seen that it's so difficult for them to express themselves with a new language. Either you are studying or when you are almost finishing your English career, students still cannot talk. And that is frustrating for us, isn't it? So, let me change this. So this was my plan of action. All right, in order to execute my debate, my online debate, the first thing that I did was write a proposition. Okay, you should provide your students with a list of alluring topics. Try to look for controversial issues to discuss. Let students decide in order to make them part of the process. Once they've picked up, you should write a proposition on the board or maybe on a PowerPoint. Okay, and I will show you some propositions that I have had in my class. One of the debates that I really enjoyed was this. So about women will never be equal to men in the workplace. And of course the opposite. This was quite a debate. Let me tell you, students were really passionate about this because I divided them, girls on one team and boys on the other one. And, you can tweak it and mix your teams. But it was very, very interesting to see my students debate about this. Another one that I made was about these when I was advancing, about bad habits, about alcohol. And I said alcohol is always bad for people. And of course, the other team had to defend that alcohol is not always bad for people. And one of their arguments was that when you go to a discotheque and you like somebody, then alcohol will actually take your shyness away or something like that. So it was quite interesting. But this was something that got my students' attention. Metrosexual men are gay. And the other team was supposed to say that they were not gay, that they actually are only men that like to look good. These were my debates before the internet, and then I stumbled on this precious PowerPoint from ESL Printables. I'm there too if you are interested in following me on ESL Printables. This is my page.